But have you ever felt thankful that one of your friends gave you a heads up, even if it felt awkward for them? You know, things like this. Hey, yo, bro, you got something in your teeth. Or, hey, bro, your fly's down, right? It's awkward. It feels a little uncomfortable to tell somebody that, but you're glad that they were looking out for you. Or something like this. Hey, dude, you got ketchup on your forehead. I don't know how you got ketchup on your forehead, but dude, you got ketchup up there, man. I'm just looking out for you. Or have you ever had this one? This is kind of humbling. Hey, the person you're talking about right now, they're right behind you. Shh. Like, whoa, stop saying that about them. Speaking of embarrassing moments, here's what I want you to do. Post in the comments right now. Here's a would you rather question for you. Would you rather, okay, here we go. Listen up. Post in the comments which one you would rather do. Would you rather have to announce to everyone around you when you have to fart, or pee your pants daily? I don't know why I picked these, but I picked these. I don't know. Which would you rather do? Embarrassing moment. Would you rather have to announce to everyone around you every time you have to fart, or pee your pants daily? I just want to see what your comments are. I see Gianna put a caption in there. That's really good. Let me see your comments on that. But we've all had moments like these, right? We've all had moments where no one likes hearing that they have food on their shirt. I'm one of those. I get food on my shirt. It's kind of a curse for my family. It's the Thomas curse, I call it. My Nana used to do it, and I get food on. I don't know why, but you know, no one likes to hear that they stepped on toilet paper and they walk out of the bathroom and they're like, hey, bro, you got toilet paper on your shoe, right? Nobody likes that. But when someone cares enough to look out for us and save us from future embarrassment, I think we're definitely grateful. I know I am. And let's think about this from the other side. Have you ever felt like you should really say something to someone else, but you weren't sure about how to say it? Think about it. Telling your friend that they have food on their face is one thing, but we know that there's a lot of bigger stuff out there. There's bigger stuff like talking to a friend about a relationship that you don't think is good for them, right? It's tough to go up to a friend and talk to them about a relationship that you don't think is healthy, or confronting someone about decisions they're making lately that aren't really that great. Right? These are bigger decisions that you and I are making, and one person might call it judging, but you might say, hey, I'm just trying to help you out, but how do we go about confronting that person or speaking up about something that you know is going to get someone in trouble? Right? How do you go about navigating that? Those are completely different than if somebody has food on their face or something on their shirt, right? Speaking up in situations like this, it's beyond difficult. Like if your brother or sister started hanging out with someone that you know isn't good for them, how do you talk to your brother or sister about that? What are you supposed to say? Or if your best friend is making decisions that you know aren't good for them, how do you approach that? See, we usually just avoid conversations like that altogether, don't we? But why? Why do we avoid these conversations? Why aren't we honest? How come we can't be honest with each other? Well, I think there's a few reasons. Maybe we don't want to ruin a friendship or make someone mad at us. And that's a real, honest, felt something that we feel, right? That we don't want someone to be mad at us. We don't want to ruin that friendship. Maybe we're doing or have done the same thing in the past. And we don't feel like we have the right thing to say because we've done that. Or we might feel like we're judging them even though we've done that, and so we don't want to say anything. We don't want to come into that and have that conversation with that person. Maybe we don't think the other person's going to listen. So why do we avoid these conversations? Maybe we don't know what to say or how to say it. For some of you, the situation is opposite. You might be like me. You have no problem saying exactly how you see it. This is something that my wife and I have talked about at length during this quarantine because we're all home, right? We're all stuck inside with each other. And I'm the type of person that I'll just say something the way I see it. And I'm not saying it with love. I'm not saying it with compassion. I'm not saying it with putting myself in their shoes at all. And you might be like me. You're not shy at speaking up. The problem with that is that you always are speaking up in ways that causes people not to want to listen. And that's what I get told. That's what I get told by my wife. I know that I cause my kids trouble and I know that they don't want to listen sometimes because of the way that I approach them. If you've ever wrestled with any of this stuff, hey, let me tell you, you're not alone. Okay, we've all been there. We all know what it feels like to know we need to say something, but we're unsure of what or how to say it. We've all been there. I think you've been there. If you've been there, just give me a thumbs up or just say, hey, I've been there. I've been there when I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. What if we could learn a new approach? What if we could learn a way to approach these difficult conversations better? What if there was a way to be helpful and kind when we chose to speak up, when we chose to speak out? You know, what if we could be helpful and kind when we respond to that person on social media, on Instagram, when we respond to that tweet? What if we could be helpful and kind? What if there's a way to have difficult conversations that end up bringing about some good in someone's life? Here's the thing. No one wants to be known as a hater. I don't think you do. I know I don't. I don't want to be known as a hater. Nobody wants to be seen as the I'm so amazing friend that walks around and points out what everybody else is doing wrong, right? And I'm amazing and I've got it all together. I just admitted to you, I don't have it all together. Man, I fall on the one side of the spectrum where I see things and then I just say it without thinking what it's going to do to that person or how I'm even approaching it. Because I'm not filtering things the right way. And we're going to get to that in just a minute about how we use filters for what we say. So when it comes to being a friend who looks out for others, how do we make sure we handle it in the right way? That's the question that we're going to answer today. So how do we do that? How do we handle it the right way? Well, last week we talked about how we should all be about love. That what we should be about is love, not hate. We wouldn't want the reputation of hating on others. We want the reputation for loving others. But if love is the goal, then how are we supposed to handle it when someone is doing something bad or even dangerous? How do we handle it when they're doing something just plain dumb? That they have something they're not supposed to have. They seem to be acting in a way they're not supposed to act. How do we approach them and not just avoid it? We're all supposed to be okay with everyone else's choices because it's their life. Who are we to judge? That's what culture would tell you, is that, hey, who are we to judge? We should be okay with everybody else's choices. And I think deep down, you know that's not the case. You know that we can't just be okay with everyone else's choices. Paul talked about this. And this is really important. We're going to go to Galatians 6. So if you have your Bibles right now, pull it out. Pull out your actual Bible right now in Galatians. You flip toward all the way to the back. All right, you have Galatians, Ephesians, and Philippians. If you find Ephesians and Philippians, you've gone too far. But we're going to go to Galatians chapter 6. Paul is writing a letter to the church in Galatia, which is now modern day Turkey. And he says this in Galatians 6:1. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, who you are godly, I'll say that again. Dear brothers and sisters, if another believer is overcome by some sin, you who are godly, let me reemphasize that, you who are godly. So Paul is specifically speaking to you out there that when you call yourself a believer, you call yourself a Christian, okay? You who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back onto the right path. Does Paul say right here, hey, when you see someone overcome by sin, you should just ignore them because they'll take care of it themselves? Or, you know what, you should come down hard on them because, if you speak to them harshly enough, they'll listen. No. He says gently and humbly. Help that person back onto the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. See, Paul is saying to the Galatians that have friends, if you have friends, and you share the same values, but you see them slip up in a way that you don't feel is godly or Christ honoring, it's your responsibility to veer them back onto the right track. That's your responsibility as a believer. In other words, Paul is saying to you and I, and God is saying to you and I should actually go further than just saying something in a conversation. We actually go further. We take a step further and we help someone get back to the best place that they can be, and that place is being on track with what God says is best. See, that's our responsibility. Our responsibility isn't just drop a bomb and walk away and be like, boom, you need to stop doing that, walk away and not help them. No. Our responsibility is to get them back on track with what God says is best. See, there's a lot Paul isn't saying here. Now, hear me when I tell you this. Paul isn't saying you're personally responsible for making sure your friends make wise choices. He's not telling you that. He's not even saying that you should put yourself in a position that sets you up for failure. He's not even saying that. Wisdom in these conversations, it's a must. See, the point is, according to Paul, we speak with humility and gentleness. You and I can help people who are struggling make poor decisions, get them back on the right path, because Paul continues here in Galatians 6:2, share each other's burdens, and in this way obey the law of Christ. So it's not just good enough that you say something and point something out. We're supposed to carry each other's burdens. Now let's do that right now. Who would be brave enough? I just want to know out there, write it in the comments, who would be brave enough to share a burden that you have? You know, something that's weighing you down, something that's overwhelming you. Here's what I know. I know that we're all quarantined and we're all at the same level playing field. I've been listening and trying to inundate myself with information that's going to help me rise up. I've been listening to motivational speakers, guys who have started businesses, who have been really successful. And you know what I've noticed with all of this? We're all at the same level playing field right now. We're all stuck inside. We've all got the same feelings of being overwhelmed, of being stir crazy, of family getting on our nerves, and all of this. We're all at the same, we're all having the same feelings right now. So right now, what are you carrying? What's overwhelming you? What feels too heavy for you? What burden do you feel like you're carrying that's too heavy right now? Would you be honest enough to share that in the comments? See, let's think about it this way. In the world of fitness training, there's a person who's known as the spotter. All right? And I found a video. We're going to do this. AJ is going to play the video. I'm going to pull it up on my computer right here so that I can follow along with you because I found a video of some spotter fails. All right? When you're a spotter, this is what you don't do. All right? Let's go ahead and play that video. 1, 2, right. All right, wait, AJ, are you ready? Okay, you're ready? 1, 2, 3. So look at this guy. Wait, where are we at? Are you at the bigger guy and the small guy?
The second guy with the blue shirt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So this is funny. Look at that. You never. All right. Can you? We can't pause it, right? We can't pause it. You never get a spotter that's smaller than you. Okay. That's come on. This is like spotter 101. All right. So here we go. This guy has way too much weight and he has no spotter. He's got nobody there to help catch. And look at what happens. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, oh, come on. Now this is a way to really injure yourself, okay? This is seriously bad. Are we at the next one? Oh, this is great. Is he sitting down? Is he sitting down right now? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's getting pumped up. Okay, here we go. Now watch this spotter, okay? Don't be this guy, all right? Look at, he's getting him ready. Oh, here we go. Oh, look at. Oh, man, not a good idea. So just a quick spotter video, because for fun, let's think about that video right there. Just to give you an idea of what a spotter is. A spotter is there to help when the weight gets too heavy for the person pushing the weight. All right? When the weight gets too heavy, hear me in this. Here's what a spotter does. When the weight gets too heavy, the person who's the spotter is supposed to come in and help carry the weight as the other person is lifting it. They're not supposed to take the entire weight from that person, and the person who's pushing it isn't supposed to have all the weight anymore. The spotter is there to come in and help carry the weight and the burden for that spotter so that person who's pushing the weight can get the weight up, right? That's what's supposed to happen. And a spotter is there to be helpful. If you're feeling helpless today, if you're sitting in quarantine today and you're like, I feel helpless and I don't know what purpose is. I don't have a purpose. I don't really know what I'm doing. I feel like I don't have any goals or anything. If you feel helpless, be helpful. Just start being helpful around the house. Just do something helpful. If you feel helpless, get helpful. Listen, you student, teenager, were made to do something great. And I know we're all sitting around right now, but you weren't made to just sit around. You're made for greatness. I heard it once said this, that you can always judge a person's character by the size of the obstacle it takes to overcome them. But here's what I would say, what I would add to that. Here's what frustrates me about that statement. There are some obstacles that you weren't meant to carry alone. There were some things, some burdens that you weren't meant to carry alone. And that's where the church is supposed to step in. That's where ReaLife is supposed to step in. That's where small groups are supposed to step in. Other people coming together and helping carry the burden or the weight and helping you overcome that obstacle. This is what we're living out right now. We're living in a day and a season when we're kind of all quarantined and we're having to face a lot of this on our own. But let me tell you, you don't have to be alone. We don't have to overcome alone. Paul cared deeply about the people of Galatia, which is why he wrote what he did. All right? We owe it to each other to speak up. You owe it to that friend to speak up. Now, can you expect someone who doesn't have the same values as you to have the same values? No, you can't speak up and say like, if you've got somebody who doesn't follow Jesus, they're not a Christ follower, they don't go to church, and they're cussing every other word. You can't always be on them for what comes out of their mouth. They don't have the same values as you, right? But you can call other people who have the same values, who are following Jesus with you, you can call them to account. In other words, Jesus followers have to do more than speak up to what's wrong. We have to make ourselves to be available as spotters. All right, spotters ready. This is something that I learned way back. I went through this course when I was at Art Van Furniture. They did this course, and we were all these salespeople went out to this thing for like 2 days, and we did trust falls, and we did like things to help each other out. And that was the phrase we use. Hey, spotters ready. Listen, spotters ready. We don't just point fingers, we share each other's burdens. Be kind, helpful, and encouraging. It shows people that we want to help them and that we want to help them out with love, that we're going to show them love. Have the hard conversations. But avoiding a hard conversation, that's not loving either. When you avoid that hard conversation, listen, it's not about you enjoying the hard conversation, like making someone look bad or feel terrible about themselves. That's not loving. But the point is learning to ask this question. Am I showing love in how I'm treating that person? Ask that question. Am I showing love in how I'm treating that person? Love pushes us to talk about things differently. I know when I have conversations or I point things out in my house, listen, let me be the one to tell you I don't have this figured out. If there's one area that I am very insecure about and I have a hard time with, it's this right here. It's that I don't approach people with the right kind of love and compassion. So let me tell you, I don't have this all figured out either. But love pushes us to talk about the difficult things in a way that's compassionate. Because that's what love does. It shares each other's burden. So what is this supposed to look like? What are we supposed to do? How can you begin to put this into practice this week? Let me tell you how you can put it into practice. There's 3 simple filters, okay? Before I get to the filters, its overarching theme is let love be your filter, okay? Let love be your filter. If we chose to love others when it comes to how we say things or when we approach them, all right, we would choose to let love be the filter that's going to change the way our relationships are. Now, when you choose a filter on Snapchat or Instagram, what does it do? Okay? No matter how you look into it, it changes what you see, right? That's what a filter does. The same is true for choosing love as a filter. No matter where you look, no matter who's in the camera, you see them differently. So hear me. When it comes to helping friends who are headed in unhealthy directions, you can become known for love by filtering your words with actions that are love, that are done through love. And I can tell you from personal experience, when you filter it through your own insecurities, it's going to hurt the ones around you. Don't filter it through your own insecurities. If you're feeling helpful, or if you're feeling helpless, get helpful. All right, here's how you can be helpful. What exactly should a filter of love be applied to? Here's the 3 filters. Your involvement filter. Let love be the filter for your involvement. When you're not sure if you should get involved into a conversation, when you're not sure if you should get involved in a friend situation, ask yourself, what's the most loving thing I can do? Use this question as a filter for your next step. This provides that gut check so that you know that your motives are right, that you don't have the wrong intentions on what you're saying. What's the most loving thing I can do? If the loving thing to do is to get involved to help someone get back on the right track, and you know it's going to help them, and you're not really sure what to do, that's what small group leaders are for. That's what pastors are for, and that's what parents are for, or another trusted adult. So once you're sure that the most loving thing you can do is to get involved, once you know that, and you've checked your involvement filter, here's the next step, your word filter. We've got to filter things through our words. Let love be the filter for our words. Ask yourself, how would I want someone to speak to me? Or what would I want him or her to say? That's what my wife is always telling me. Like, how would you want to speak to me differently? like you want to replay that again? Like, how can you speak to me differently? How would you want to speak to that person differently? Like, how would you want to be spoken to in that way? When you filter your words through love, you'll stop and make sure that you're not just throwing stones at someone. This isn't about making you look right and them wrong. Your words can speak hope or they can cast judgment. You can choose, but it's up to you to choose the words that you speak if they're going to cast hope or cast judgment. If you filter them through love, there'll be words that can help someone else's life get back on track. So once you've had the word filter in place and your involvement filter, your action and reaction filter, let love be the filter for your reactions and actions. Okay? Hear me in this. If we have friends that are having a hard time keeping their lives headed in the right direction, chances are they aren't just going to need words. Chances are they're going to need some involvement and they're going to need your help. You have to choose your filter through actions. You have to choose your filter of your actions through love. Ask yourself this, how would I want someone to live out their love if I were in that situation? Would you want them to keep their phone close in case you got into a tempting situation? Would you want them to pick you up or maybe call you for a ride if you wound up at a bad place or an unhealthy party? Would you want them to tell an adult or a professional because you need help that goes beyond what you can give them? Would you want them to say hard things and follow words up with accountability and continuous conversations to help you stay on track? See, no matter what the situation is, the filter your actions should be is through love. And then you'll wind up being known for loving others. When you let love be your filter, we share the burdens of those we love. And that's really what this is about, sharing someone's burden this week. Imagine how your friends, your school, your family, imagine how your families would be different if we were filtering things through the involvement, words, and actions. We would say hard things to each other, but not in a judgmental or hating way, right? Let's be people who let love be our filter so that we can help those we love stay headed in the right direction. So here's your next step. If you're wondering, all right, what am I going to do? What's my next step? What video am I going to post? What am I going to do this week? Here it is. So lean in, listen. Have a conversation with someone using your filters, your involvement filter, okay? Your actions filter and your words filter. Use those filters, have a conversation with someone. It could happen out of a reaction that a family member does to you and you use those filters. Or it could be something that you've been meaning to have a conversation with a friend or a family member for a long time. All right? But use those filters, your involvement, words, and actions and reactions, and then tell us how that conversation went. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be overly complicated. Just tell us how it went when you had that conversation with someone and you carried someone else's burden, or you got involved in a situation and you did it out of love, respect, and humility, just like Paul said. Tell us how it went. All right? And then post that video or post what you did in the comments of this live video on our page, and you could win something. But don't just walk away from this message and be like, yeah, that's good information, but I didn't do anything with it. Do something with it. Actually respond and do the next step. Have a conversation with someone using your filters, your involvement, your words, and your actions and reactions filter. And then tell us how it went. All right? Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad you joined us here at ReaLife on Wednesday night. So stick around, okay? AJ and I are going to do the truth and lies for just a couple more times, and then we're going to jump into our Zoom call. So I'm going to post the Zoom meeting right now in the comments of the Facebook or of this video, and then you can jump on with us. And I'd love to see you face to face. We're going to talk more about what this means. We're going to answer some of your questions that you might have. We're going to go back into the Zoom. All right, and then we'll all be able to have conversations together and see each other, because this is important to still be in community. When all of this ends and all of this is going to come, all of this will end someday and we get back together, it's going to be important that we stay in community and that we've been in community with each other so that when we show up, it's not just weird and awkward anymore. But even if it is weird and awkward or whatever, still show up because it's important. It's going to be important for you. So we're going to push pause just for a second. We're going to load up, change how we were doing it here just for a second. We're going to do something fun, and then we'll jump into our Zoom. Oh, we're going to give away the box of Hot Pockets. Yeah. Boom, the mega box. Look at that. Hot Pockets.
Okay, let's see.
We have captions right here. Can they hear us?
Yep, they should.
Okay, so I'm going to read these captions and then we'll put them in here and then draw. Because, we like to do that. Oh, Joey says, legend has it, they burn through steel. All right, that's good. That's good. Gianna, when you can't decide between pizza and a burrito. Yes, that's a good caption. That's true. That's true. All right. Gabe says, mine 7 times.
Yeah. No, it's mine.
Oh, mine. Okay. Abby says, jumbo snot rockets. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Here we go.
So Ben, what we're doing is
All right.
we
Well,
have.
hold on. Let's draw this.
Okay.
Let's draw this. Let's get your hat. Come on. Let's see your
Okay.
your awesome hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is our quarantine hair.
Yes. The
All right,
quarantine.
AJ, pull it out.
Okay.
Who's gonna win?
We have Gianna.
Gianna!
She won twice this week.
She won.
Yes.
She wins.
Yes, that's awesome.
All right, there you go. Yeah, there you go, Gianna. Box of Hot Pockets. Okay, AJ, tell us how this is gonna go. Oh man, that is shining bright through here. Should I close that? Oh, I can't even close that blind. Can I?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll just
Okay.
stay back.
Let
All
me
right,
see.
tell us how this is gonna go, AJ.
So what we're doing is, we're gonna
Yep.
play an audio. We're gonna play a video, and the goal is for us. There's no kind of punishments. It's just pointing system.
Yeah, we're done with the punishments right now.
Now
Okay, we're gonna hold off.
We're not doing punishment. So what we're doing is, we're gonna watch a video. It's a compilation videos, and whoever says, "Wow," what, like a surprise, what, and feel amazed, like in the amazement of, or satisfying reactions.
Something,
Like, oh
yeah.
my gosh.
We just can't
Or
have
say,
a
oh.
reaction.
Yep. No satisfying reactions.
We're
Like
not-
no
yeah.
reaction that you were satisfied.
We're not allowed to react to it.
Yep, we're not. Okay, but we can laugh. We
And
did
we'll
this
see who
last week.
wins.
Yeah, we did this last week, and we try not to laugh. But this one is just the reaction. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. See that they're like gathering water. Water.
What are they doing?
It's like a big house, and then they're scooping the water, and it's just off.
Oh, that's... Oh my God! You get a point. Okay.
That's a point.
I get a point. Oh, yeah.
I get a point. Dude, that's
Oh, see, I get a point.
it's hard.
I get a point.
What is that?
Oh, dang, I got sweet. That was, I had to say it.
That was
sweet.
Yeah, that was
What the? Okay, see, I just did it again. What is? How did you do that? I got 3.
What is that? Is that just orange peel?
I want to do that.
Is that an orange peel?
Yeah.
How is he doing that?
See, you gotta. That's a point.
I was just wondering.
You can't. You know, I think you would be allowed to say that.
Oh, it's magnet. Okay, it's magnet. That's ridiculous. That's awesome.
Oh, see, point. I get it.
Oh
Okay.
gosh, that's right.
It's 3-2.
Dude, can you imagine being in there? Just
No.
no.
We both got one. No.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
No.
What's happening?
4-3. I don't know what's happening.
Oh, this is the doll. Oh, is that how they do it? Huh. No, that's creepy. Is it an egg heart?
What is that?
Green Christmas lips.
Oh, see, I'm like enamored by it. I'm like, what? That's so. 5 to 3.
Yeah. What is he doing?
Is that toilet paper?
No. Was that toilet paper?
I think
no,
so.
I got it again. Dude, this is hard.
4 to 5.
4 to 5. Are those straws?
What's he doing?
I think he's just playing with straws.
He's just playing with straws.
Yeah, this was Rubik's Cube. Oh, it's a different kind of Rubik's Cube. Dude, that was awesome.
Dude. No, he didn't.
That was upside down.
No, okay, I mean, that's 6 to 5. There's just no way.
They did it slow-mo. Okay, I'm gonna lose on this. I love these things. I love. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
7 to 6.
7 to 6. Is he cutting fire? No, that guy is CGI.
No.
That guy is CGI. Pancake, anybody? Is that egg? Is that from a wood? Dude, that's awesome.
What's happening? 6 to 6.
Seriously though, that's awesome.
Whistling. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that was cool.
Yes.
7 to 6.
I want to try this. I want to try this. I want to try that. I want to try that. It's hard not to be amazed on this.
I've heard of people doing this. It's like a science experiment or something.
Interesting. And no leak?
Mm-mm.
Oh no. What is happening?
No, I don't know where this is going.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's happening, but
What
this
is
can't be
going on?
good. What was that? Oh, I thought he was gonna rip off his.
I thought he was gonna peel it.
I thought he was gonna peel off his. Yeah.
His toe now.
What are they doing?
Like a pita bread? Is it a pita bread? Oh, I think they're just showing how awesome he's doing. He's doing that. It's just flat. Oh, he's painting it. Huh? Can you imagine, like, how easy it is to paint stuff? That's how you do it. Oh, he didn't burn the water part. It's just the top part.
Cool. Oh, whoa, I want to do that. I'm doing that. No,
just to show. Oh,
I'm doing that.
I'm doing that.
7 to 6. What are we at? Like
7 to 6
or something.
I wish I had talents like that. Look at that. Like the detail of putting all the stuff, the teeth, the face. That's some art. That's from what, clay? That's ridiculous.
Oh, see? 7-7.
That's always Oh, I see.
I want that.
I want that.
Oh, see, we're good. Oh, I think, what was that? Where did we end? I
Like
think
7-7. I think we tied.
I think we tied. 7-7. All right, we're going to jump into the Zoom. Hey, well, thanks for sticking around with us. We're over here now.
Yeah,
right?
we're
over here now. Thanks for sticking around with us. We're gonna jump into the Zoom. I put the meeting credentials up there. I'll post them once again in the comments. But you can head over to Zoom. I'm gonna start the meeting right now. And thanks for joining us here at ReaLife.
All right. Thank you guys. Bye.